It's week 1 of a new course or subject. Your teen is excited. The books are open, the projects are fresh, there's a big energy all around. In week 2, you can still feel that same energy. But by week 3, it's almost like somebody flipped a switch. The rhythm's gone, confidence dips, stress rises, and instead of progress, you find yourself fighting battles you never expected. Here's what I want you to know. That crash is not a personality flaw. It's not proof that your teen is lazy or that you're failing as a parent. It's something much, much deeper, and almost every family that I work with has run into that. I call it the week 3 wall. And once you can see this for what it really is, you can stop blaming yourself, you can stop blaming your teen, and you can finally start to actually move through it with clarity and confidence. You've done everything right. You've bought the books, you've set the schedule, you've cheered them on from the sidelines, you've tried to balance structure with freedom, and still, by week 3, that rhythm just falls apart. And you're left wondering, why can't we just finish strong? Why do we start things that we don't finish? What's actually wrong with us? I hear this all the time. And here's the thing, you are not alone. Almost every family that I've spoken with, from Mandy, who worries late at night that she's wasting years, to Hazel, who feels her teen loses momentum halfway through everything, to Ananda, who's afraid that credits won't add up to real readiness. They've all faced this wall. And it's exhausting, isn't it? Because you actually care so deeply about your teen's future. You're willing to do the work, you've made the sacrifices, but instead of peace, you feel like you're constantly restarting the engine, constantly dragging them uphill. It's not that you don't care enough. It's that the system is missing something essential. And that is why this wall keeps hitting. The problem is not your team's willpower. The problem is scaffolding. Traditional schooling gave children like yours scaffolding by default. Fixed schedules, bells, deadlines, teachers reminding them, tests every week. It was an external frame that just kept momentum moving. But when you shift into homeschooling, online learning, or even project-based electives, that scaffolding just disappears. And by week 3, the cracks start to show. Energy leaks out, momentum collapses, parents panic, teens start to feel like failures. That is the week 3 wall. Educational psychology backs this up. Lev Vygotsky spoke about the zone of proximal development, the sweet spot where learning is challenged, but not overwhelming. In schools, scaffolding held kids in that zone. Without it, by week 3, they fall into the frustration zone. It's too hard, it's too unsupported, and that's where the shutdown starts to happen. So, let's do a quick self-check-in. But remember, answer honestly. Does your teen's energy fade after the first 2 weeks? Do projects often stall halfway? Do you feel like you're dragging them instead of them running? If you nodded yes to any of those 3, you are not a failure. You're actually just staring at the week 3 wall. And this is why grit and autonomy are one of our 5 pillars of future readiness. Not because kids need to try harder, but because they actually need to learn to stand on their own once that scaffolding is removed, because that is the point where their future is either forged or lost. So how do you actually move through this wall? It's definitely not by pushing harder. It's not by doubling the rules or piling on the pressure. The key here is not more force, but rather smarter scaffolding, because momentum is not built from willpower. It's actually built from systems. So here's 3 anchors that you can actually install now that make all the difference. A weekly rhythm. Predictability reduces resistance. Monday always starts the same. Friday always ends with reflection. Your teen learns to trust the flow, and the rhythm does the heavy lifting. An accountability touchpoint. This could be a mentor, a peer, or even you. But it has to be outside of their own head. A simple 5-minute check-in where they say, here's what I did, and here's what's next. That small momentum builds consistency. A Friday showcase. Every week needs to be a visible win. It could be a short video edited, a design draft, or even a polished paragraph. Proof doesn't have to be huge, but it does have to be visible. That small act of showing builds confidence and momentum for the next cycle. Without these anchors, the week 3 wall always wins. With them, the momentum doesn't rely on mood, it's actually carried by that structure. And here's the deeper truth. This is exactly what grit and autonomy look like in practice. Not endless grind, not surviving stress, but building the kind of habits that let them move forward without constant hand-holding. At Future Forward, this is why we wrap every course in the 5 pillars. Because whether you're learning media, personal finance, or design, the real lesson isn't actually the subject matter. It's whether you can push through that wall, whether you can stay in that stretch zone, and whether they can actually turn their effort into proof. And that's what future readiness actually is. It's systems that help your team keep going when that scaffolding falls away. So let's zoom out. Failure looks like this. Another term slips away. Another pile of half-finished projects. Your team starts to believe that they're actually the problem. Their confidence erodes. And you as the parent are left lying awake at night wondering, are we wasting the years away? But success looks very different. It's Friday afternoon. Your team shows you even a small one, a design draft, a short video, a polished essay. And you can see their smile when they realize that they actually finished something. You hear a family friend say, wow, where did you actually learn that? And you feel that knot in your stomach loosen because you know you found that rhythm. It's not about pushing harder. It's not about perfect grades. It's about proof that momentum is alive. And with that proof, you know that your team is not drifting. They're building the grit and autonomy that they are going to need to keep breaking through every single wall that the future is going to throw at them. If the week 3 wall sounds a bit familiar, don't panic. The fact that you can already recognize it is such a big win, because now you can name it, you can see it, and you can guide your team through it. But here's the thing. Every family's wall looks a little bit different. For some, it's that weekly rhythm. For others, it's that accountability. And for others, it's that missing showcase moment. But the actual real question that you should be asking is, which of the pillars should my team be working on to strengthen right now? That's why we created the Future Ready quiz. It takes just 2 minutes, and parents tell us that it's the first time they felt clarity instead of confusion, hope instead of doubt. The quiz shows you which of the 5 pillars is strongest in your team and which one needs focus next. It gives you a map. So you're no longer questioning or guessing or scrambling. You're leading with direction. So if you felt that sting of the week 3 wall, don't get stuck there. Take the quiz, get your map, and start turning your frustration into momentum, your doubt into direction, and let's get those walls turning into wins. Because the truth is, your team is not failing. They're just waiting for scaffolding that works. And with the right guideposts, you can be the parent that gave that to them.